What's up, guys? It is episode 22 of the Market Podcast. How's everyone going?
Alrighty.
I'm good. I'm good too.
I'm going to die soon.
All right. Yeah. So is this all English?
We're all screwed.
But for now, I'm Wesley.
For now, I'm Haig.
Hey, what it is? It's your boy Young Boobis
Oh,
Batch.
I'm
the
sorry.
butteriest biscuit in the batch.
I was hoping you were gonna say I've never been Trey.
That's why I didn't introduce myself as Trey.
All right, go on.
You know, old boy McCroy.
We got a guest. What's going on, man?
Hey. Hey.
Figured, hey.
The boy's back for the third time.
It's Weezer F. Neiman. Please say the Neiman.
Oh.
If you know, you know.
Forget the Wheezy F.
It's not ugly.
And I am Nico, behind the scenes without a camera this week. That's fine.
Yeah.
AKA the Semen Demon.
It's behind the technology.
Sure.
I did it this time. I actually didn't do it last time again.
I was
Yeah.
very happy.
Yeah, I noticed.
Idiot.
I'm sorry.
I wasn't gonna do it for you, so just kind of how it happened.
I only asked for my friends to cover me, and they don't even do that.
Who are you?
What's going on?
Well, it's been a long week, just in the world and in the gaming world. So both, coronavirus is just taking over the planet.
Strenuous times.
It's destroying the world, apparently, according to that fucking tabloid we saw. Coronavirus destroys the world.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If you ever in line at the supermarket, look at the tabloids just for fun, just to see what they say.
This whole thing is stupid.
My visit to Texas is postponed. My LCS is postponed.
Your
The,
LCS.
the soccer I watch is postponed.
Well, no one cares.
How about my graduation, which is important, more important than all of those?
Yeah, we don't know about that yet.
Oh!
Both of ours. But yeah.
They seriously are going to postpone it?
They probably will. It's only like,
Yes, that's true,
2
yeah.
months?
The commencement ceremony, yeah, I'm concerned about that. And then a couple concerts I was going to have been postponed. Yeah, things are, everything's just moving out of the way of March.
I wasn't
and
gonna
April.
go to any concerts, man. I'm not trying to be in that vat of sweaty niggas.
Oh, shut up.
What? I'm
Move
not.
on. We moving on.
I'm not.
Hey, we moving
I
on.
don't want to be in there. Because they're just brushing up on sweaty people. That's what all it is.
All right, for anybody new here, we are Black Market Gaming. This is the Market Podcast where 4 of us and occasionally a guest sit around and talk about games, anime, memes, other cool shit for about an hour and a half. So,
Cheers.
yeah. And so what's going on this week other than the news, other than all the stuff we have to talk about today and the things that obviously we don't have time to talk about today? And who's playing games? Who's playing video games?
My gaming has been halted for the time being because coronavirus. No.
That doesn't
I was
make
about to
sense.
say, what happened? And then you said
Nah.
coronavirus. I'm like,
No, I just been busy. I got a new car, I had to do all that.
Okay.
And and just life, work. I'm gonna get back to it though.
Yeah.
That's all.
I'm playing some Call of Duty Warzone.
Yes.
That just
True,
came out
yes.
this past Tuesday, I think. No, Wednesday. And, geez, it really hasn't even been a week since that game came out. This week has been so long. It's fun. It has its differences with other battle royales, which there are good and bad things about it. But I'm enjoying it generally speaking. And it's got crossplay. What do you guys think about it? I know Darius and Trey have been
I haven't
playing it
tried
as
it
well.
yet.
Wesley's been meaning to try it.
Yeah.
I
I'm gonna
haven't
get to
tried it yet.
I'm gonna get to it. Don't worry.
figure, don't worry. It's cool. Like, it has its own things that make it special, probably most notably the Gulag, where, it's like a 1v1. If you win, you get to come back.
Yeah, that mechanic is
Yeah.
really cool.
Also, you can buy back
Log.
your teammates with the money you get. By just finding it in the world or just killing other people.
That's sick.
Infinitely. As long as you have money, you can buy them back, basically.
Oh, nice.
And who says you can't buy people?
Not Activision.
Or white people back in the day.
Now.
Forget now.
In some
Yeah,
places
I
in the world.
played, I think I'm the only one in here who actually played the regular Modern Warfare. So
Beyond the beta, I've played the beta.
yeah, I played the story and then the multiplayer. So it was basically just a
played
battle
multiplayer.
royale version of that. But it's fun, especially when you start to learn the maps and whatnot. I like the different types. Like it's just basically if you played the multiplayer, but a battle royale version, which is good because the multiplayer is very good. So
And
and it looks good.
Yeah, I was about to say, I
And the
understand it look real
vehicles-
nice.
The vehicles are
look good.
fun. The system. It's all fun.
It's a lot easier in the sense you don't have to manage an inventory in this game. Because really the main thing you're getting is the 2 weapons that you hold, and then beyond that you have a certain amount of each type of ammo you can hold, and then obviously you can hold a lethal and a tactical throwable.
And then money and then armor, and that's
Or
basically it.
consumable rather. Yeah, that's really it. So you don't have much to worry about. Pick up the guns you want and pick up ammo for them, and then go shoot some people, and try to stay alive.
A few of the things it's like, there are really only 2 other battle royales that you can compare this to, being the Black Ops 4 and PUBG.
Yeah.
And I'll continue to hate on that game. I don't care. This
I mean,
is
it's bad, yeah.
This is another battle royale that is way better than PUBG, but it's still different enough to where I don't think everyone will jump ship from Black Ops 4. Because with Black Ops 4, you have like the whole futuristic crap and the zombies and stuff like that. Whereas this one's more like regular Call of Duty, but in battle royale.
Yeah. This is also free to play though.
Yes.
So it's got
also
that going
free, yeah.
for it.
It's free to play forever, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like a trial or anything.
Speaking of which, Kenyatta did download it on my PS4 yesterday. So
All right, so you have
I
it.
have it, yeah.
Tonight?
Huh?
Tonight then we'll get on and play some.
Oh, yeah. We'll do it.
Figure it out. He's like, well, maybe.
Don't worry, Addy will carry you.
I don't know about
One
that.
thing to note actually, because they give you like the coins or like the currency,
Yeah, Plunder.
plunder
Yeah.
for that game. You can actually buy the season pass with that because
Oh, really?
they give you like 11.
the stuff you get like through the. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like when you first log on to the game, they like give you
Yeah,
like currency or whatever.
I forget what it's called.
I think you
It's like
start,
CP or some shit.
yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, like COD points.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And they give you like 1,100, and the season pass for this season is 1,000.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure. I know because I got it and I
got-
didn't spend a dime on the game.
I have to look into that. Either that, or you got lucky again somehow getting battle passes for free.
No, all the DLC is free in the game. Like all the maps they've added. They added, I think, Rust to the game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they did.
It
It
was
was
about
free.
that.
So they do that. They've been doing that.
A little more consumer friendly.
Yeah, it reminds me of, because I only played the beta, and then when I went over to my cousin's house, I played for a few hours then,
Yeah.
and it really reminded me that I actually do want this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm gonna
Because
get
it
it
feels really
soon.
good to play. It's a really good shooter. I mean,
Feels
as Call of Duty generally is, but
Feels good to play. It's not overly complicated like they did with the past games. They didn't add just like a bunch of
Yeah.
weird gadgets that you
it's
don't even know what they
modern
do.
warfare.
Yes, and more importantly, the guns just feel really good to shoot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. All right, and then obviously there's this game that came out that
Yes.
Nico has.
Hey.
I got my Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
It's called Quisps.
Feeding the Quisps. I played like the first 3 to 4 hours or so, and I am fucking loving this game so far. It is awesome. Unfortunately, it launched with some technical issues. Playing it on the Xbox One X, I know there's like the game will occasionally freeze, both with and while not loading certain like new scenes in the game, and there will also be like frame rate drops during combat. But
Yikes.
besides those technical
finished.
issues, the game's fucking great. So once Moon Studios puts out a patch to fix those stuff up and the issues it's also having on PC, that game is going to be great. I saw an article that said that it is the most highly rated game of 2020 so far.
Mm-hmm.
But there hasn't been that many games. Like none other big games really have come out
not
too
really.
much. So it's not necessarily surprising.
That
yeah.
that got really good reviews. I was just seeing the Animal Crossing reviews before we
Wasn't
started.
Neo getting good reviews?
Neo was getting really good reviews. Everything's getting like 8, 9s, and 10s right now. Everything's like
Sick.
that. Neo, Ori, and now Animal Crossing all have 8.
Oh yeah,
9s, and
Neo
10s.
did come out. Completely
Yeah.
forgot.
It
I know.
just came out.
I know. Like the beta wasn't completely well received.
Yeah,
Um,
but
What
it sounds
about
like the game's good, huh?
What about Doom?
I'm assuming the review scores will drop for Doom later this week
Okay.
because the game comes out Friday,
Yeah.
and I'm very excited. I'm going to play that. I'm going to go
Forgot I'm
shoot
gonna
some
pre that.
fucking demons. Let's go.
You shouldn't
I'm ready.
play anything until you finish Uncharted and play The Last of Us, because you're trying to play The Last of Us Part 2. And you shouldn't, because you didn't play the first one.
Okay, so what's our first topic?
That's unfortunate.
Just saying.
All right, let's go window shopping, boys.
get into it.
We got 4 windows today.
Alrighty.
The first one's a big one because it's just more coronavirus stuff.
Of course.
Coronavirus.
Well, shut
Oh, shut up.
I hate it. I hate it.
All of
I hate that you did that so well. I just want you to know that.
All right. Because there's only 3 stories for the coronavirus this week. Although outside the gaming world has had a lot bigger impact,
Yeah.
bigger of an impact. But the big one in gaming is that E3 2020 has been canceled.
Oh,
Nintendo
man.
called it years ago,
Cheap.
and they all made fun of him for it. Now
Yeah.
look at you.
I still make fun
Are
of them
you
for it.
implying that Nintendo created the coronavirus to
No,
stop
I
E3?
am not saying that, but
Yo.
they knew this was going to happen, and they were like, no, we're not going anymore. And then Sony was like, oh, no.
But
Ooh.
it's got nothing to do with the virus, though.
No, yes, it does. They knew it would happen.
They did it. I'm telling you. Them and Sony were in cahoots.
Those damn Japanese.
Damn Japs.
No. So the ESA's statement on the matter was, after careful consultation with our member companies regarding the health and safety of everyone in our industry, our fans, our employers, our exhibitors, and our longtime E3 partners, we have made the difficult decision to cancel E3 2020, scheduled for June 9th to June 11th in Los Angeles. Following increased and overwhelming concerns about the COVID-19 virus, we felt that this was the best way to proceed during such an unprecedented global situation. We are,
Oops, my bad.
we are very disappointed that we are unable to hold this event for our fans and supporters. We know it's the right decision based on the information we have today. And this was like a week ago. Our team will be reaching out directly to exhibitors and attendees with information about providing full refunds. We are also exploring options for our members to coordinate an online experience to showcase industry announcements and news in June 2020. Updates will be shared on e3expo.com. We thank everyone who shared their views on reimagining E3 this year. We look forward to bringing you E3 2021 as a reimagined event that brings fans, media, and the industry together in a showcase that celebrates the global video game industry.
I don't know about that, Billy.
Yeah, I'm not. We've been saying this, and I've been hearing this, is that I don't know if E3 2021 will happen.
Yeah.
The fact that they have to cancel this event is going to hurt the ESA and the wallet
Yeah.
more than anything for them, because this is half of their revenue, is this event, and it's not happening this year. So that's not good for them. There's more things to go over, though, of course. So Phil Spencer's response to this news.
Real quick.
Huh?
Just a break in here real quick. Eurogamer just posted an article saying Animal Crossing's New Horizons review, a magical vivarium, and one of the Nintendo's best games yet. So
that's their review.
yeah, they're liking it. They're liking it a lot.
I will still never.
One of Nintendo's best games yet.
Yeah,
that's
it's crazy.
that's a statement. That's a statement.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
All right. So obviously, companies had their own responses to this. I'm just going to read a few of them. I'm not going to read all of them, especially since some of them gave responses and they're not even there in the first place. So Phil Spencer responded to this for Xbox, and he said, E3 has always been an important moment for Team Xbox. Given this decision, this year we'll celebrate the next generation of gaming with the Xbox community and all who love to play via an Xbox digital event. Details on timing and more in the coming weeks. So it looks like they're going to do an online thing, which is basically what we expected would happen if this were to occur. There's more statements here. Let me pull up this article real quickly. It's like compiled them. Let me read it in Nintendo's, and I think I'll read Ubisoft's. Nintendo said Nintendo supports the ESA's decision to cancel this year's E3 to help protect the health and safety of everyone in the industry. Yada yada yada. That's basically that part. We'll continue to be flexible and redirect our efforts to other ways of keeping our fans up to date about our activities and products. Because of the COVID-19 outbreak, large industry events may be untenable for the foreseeable future, but we are considering various ways to engage with our fans, and we will have more to share as the year continues. Of course, Nintendo, the famous creator of the Directs, should be fine in this situation for sure. And then finally, Ubisoft, because they're really the only other big company there, although there's others here. The health and well-being of our teams, players, and partners is our top priority. So while we're disappointed, we fully support the ESA's decision to cancel E3 2020. They think that E3 will continue. We're exploring the other options for a digital experience that will allow us to share all the exciting news we have planned. Same thing as Xbox. They're going to do a digital event. EA, they just saying like they're just keeping an eye on what they'll do about EA Play because that happens at the same time.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Devolver's sad. Square Enix is sad, obviously. And here's the interesting thing though. So, Bethesda did not say anything, and then the other interesting thing coming from Jason Schreier's article about this cancellation, he says this year a newcomer planned to enter the field, Warner Brothers Games, was preparing to host an E3 press conference for the first time, according to 3 people familiar with the publisher's plans. There, WB Games had planned to talk about a number of much-anticipated games, including a new Batman, a new Harry Potter game that had leaked in 2018, and the new game from the Arkham developers Rocksteady Studios. It remains to be seen whether Warner Brothers will instead hold its own digital event or do something else entirely. So it sounds like we missed out on that, and we don't know how that's going to be. Obviously, the games will still be revealed somehow, but we don't know when that's going to happen or how. And then, of course, finally, the other big thing about E3 being canceled is that this is going to hurt small developers and people who are looking to go break a deal with publishers or looking to network with other industry professionals. It's the same like damage that GDC being postponed caused is also happening because of E3's cancellation. So that sucks for those people too. So this is big for the gaming world.
Yeah.
We don't have a big summer event to look forward to. I know we all get together, every year and try to watch all the conferences and stuff like that. We don't know what we'll do. I'm sure there'll be some conferences. They might be a little bit more spread out though, so it won't be as convenient.
And I'd say that's the main reason why I don't want why I'm upset about E3 being gone. It's not because I don't think we'll get the announcements because we will. If they want to say something, they'll say it. Yeah. It's just it's the spectacle.
Yeah,
it's the get together.
Having all the companies come together and us all come together in one place at one time to experience new stuff.
Vigigrams.
So, rip.
Yeah, so it's a shame that this isn't happening this year, and hopefully it continues next year. But it's really just going to be a matter of waiting and seeing on that one. I was just seeing before our podcast started here that Gamescom is still planning on carrying on. They're not until the middle of August, so they have time to cancel the event if the situation gets worse. And then obviously GDC's gone. PAX occurred to less fanfare, I'm assuming, and other big game events this year, I don't know.
Depending on how long it takes to develop like a vaccine or whatever, how progress goes along with the virus.
Yeah.
EVO might be canceled.
Yeah, I was reading about that stuff
which
too.
Would suck.
Yeah, I said it before. Everyone just stopped doing it.
This is a big year for gaming, but at the same time, there's so much going wrong with it. Because we have all these games coming out on top of the fact that we have new consoles and launch titles for those consoles coming out as well, which we have more to talk about later.
Figure it out later.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah,
see what
so
you're saying.
it's looking a little dim, right now. And that's not looking
Yeah,
great. But
it's not looking great.
we still have
Not
a
at
lot to
all.
look forward to. No games, I don't think, have really been delayed yet because of this. Although I wouldn't be surprised if some are. I know The Last of Us Part 2 is still on the way for its release date. Doom is coming out on Friday, like I said. Final Fantasy VII Remake, I'm pretty sure, is still set to come out in a few weeks. So, I know, man. So, games at least will keep us company in the meantime.
Speaking of that, how was the demo?
I don't play demos of games I already know I want.
You're not a demo guy?
Of games I already know I want.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's understandable.
he's already sold on it, so he wasn't play. I played it.
They put a whole bunch of shit in there that apparently wasn't in the original. So I'm like, let me just experience it.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into details about it, but I will say, it was really good. I enjoyed the gameplay probably more than I expected to.
Okay.
The ability to switch characters and stuff like that.
Square.
Yeah, and then
Square.
the characters really come alive in this. The game looks so good.
Yeah.
Because of the quality of it. And just the voice acting is really good and the writing's pretty good. I'm like, this feels like a really good game that a lot of people can enjoy so far. Obviously, I only played the demo, but
Square.
I'm really looking forward to the game coming out. And and this is only this is only part 1.
That's what you call art.
It is. Forget Square.
Just put a square up every time he says that.
I'm saying.
But different pictures of squares.
Yeah, Darius is the one that's at Squeenix.
Put a picture of Carrie.
Put Carrie up there.
Me and you said that the same time.
Oh dear.
But, I mean, I'm gonna play it. I'm probably gonna play it a week before the game comes out, because that'll reignite my hype for it, and I can just smoothly play the game.
That's cool.
Alrighty.
All right, we got 2 other quick stories from related to the coronavirus this week. Blizzard has canceled the Overwatch League's events for March and April.
Whatever.
So people who are looking forward to going to or watching those are not happening. I guess alongside that, like we mentioned, LCS, and all the other a lot of the other League of Legends tournaments have been suspended.
This week they were doing in-house games. They brought back the old TSM.
Yeah.
And they were playing.
Yeah, I saw Avali was streaming all that stuff. Yeah.
And Captain Flowers was casting. It was cool.
Yeah. So they're having fun.
Yeah.
But unfortunately we have
That doesn't have anything to do with the standings.
Yep. No, it does not. And then finally, the BAFTA Game Awards is moving to an online stream this year.
BAFTA.
Due to the virus, of course, as well.
Are you 2 o'clock? Or 2 o'clock?
Yo, I don't even know where that
You need
came
to go
from.
home.
He said, "Dude, are you like 2 o'clock or
Are
something?"
you 12:30 or something?
What's this?
I don't even know what happened.
Wesley, you need to go to sleep. You acting
I literally just died.
You acting 6:15 right now.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god. I just had a stroke. Holy.
We just got some significant gaming news.
What the fuck just happened, bro?
Some significant real life news about
Jesus Christ.
about where we live, but we'll talk about that later.
Does that have anything to do with 5 o'clock?
I'm saying.
Better not.
Oh.
No.
Does that have to do with Planet Fitness?
Actually, that's a good point. That's a good question. We'll read into that after this. All right. Number 2. This is kind of surprising. Reggie Fils-Aimé, former head of Nintendo
Reggie
of America.
Phil's aim.
He's been retired a little bit, recently, about a year.
Yes.
He's joining GameStop's board of directors.
Oh, that wasn't BS.
No,
he's gonna.
This is a real report. Yeah,
He's trying to save. He's trying to be the savior of GameStop.
So this is coming from Charlie Hall over at Polygon. So he's joined the GameStop board of directors along with a couple other new people on the board, which I think brings the total of people on that board to 10. And this is interesting. It sounds like he wants to be a part. Actually, you know what I should have gotten, and I'm going to go get it because it's relevant. His statement on it on Twitter, because he puts his point of view on why he's joining. But obviously, GameStop hasn't been doing very well.
Not at all. No.
Partially because they're not really they're not really keeping up with the times very well, but they're also, I mean, digital is taking over slowly but surely. And though physical may stay around for a long time, maybe not a healthy enough business that GameStop can keep so many stores open around the country or around the world. So Reggie Fils-Aimé on Twitter says the gaming industry needs a healthy and vibrant GameStop. I look forward to being a part of GameStop Corp board and helping make this happen. So he wants to be a part of this to see this stuff get better. So
my thing is,
I don't know what he can do.
Do we?
I don't know if him being there is gonna help, but I do know like it makes sense because Nintendo always has kind of been like old school in terms of like
that's true.
wanting to be physical and stuff like that. Like they were like last to like to having their games up digitally
Yeah.
for you to download. So that's probably why they got him, but don't know if it's gonna help. But I still want physical stuff.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to games that like I'd probably say every game that I like love, I have it physically.
Yes.
And that's always gonna be different than having it digitally. That's the reason why people buy vinyls of like albums they love.
Yeah.
Because they want it physically. So
Yeah.
there's always gonna be a market for that. I just don't know if there needs to be a chain of stores for stuff like that.
No.
Yeah, definitely.
I think GameStop really needs to just reevaluate their place. I think that they should exist. I think that it's nice to have at least one chain of companies of a company that has that is focused solely around nothing but games. And now there's really only one of those left, which is GameStop. And I hope that they can find some place to stay in the market. I think it's possible that they might have to downsize how many stores they have open, which they've already been doing.
Did that?
They've already
They
been
did.
doing that. But I'm not the expert. I don't know how they're gonna save it.
Yeah.
It's up to Reggie and the other 9 guys up there.
And obviously, not an expert on this, but I've been saying this for a while. What you should do, focus on like, I guess like apparel and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know, toys, figurines, clothes, stuff like that. Don't stop selling games.
Yeah.
Obviously, like have a game section. But I'd say
Wasn't me that time. Well, it was me, but not me.
I'd say the majority of, at least half of your store should be like, stuff like that. The other half should be games. At least half.
I feel
Yeah.
like that's kind of what contributed though to their downfall is they have too much fucking stuff in that store. That's why they had to remodel all the stores. They just did that recently, right? Like
Yeah.
they changed how the
Some
whole
of them,
store
yeah.
looks. Like
Well, so yeah, they haven't done all of them.
yeah, like they have too much shit in that store, and then their stores are too small. Like when I go into GameStop, not for a shirt, I go in it for a game or a controller or a system or an accessory for my console.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Funko Pops and then stupid versions of Sora with a big ass head
Oh my goodness.
that doesn't look good, and it looks like someone that lives up the street.
And that could be another thing.
Gee.
First, don't just start stockpiling a whole bunch of crap, hoping that something sticks.
And you know
Yeah.
that that's the problem because all that shit is always on sale. Like whenever you
Yeah.
get there, it's always on sale. Like nobody wants that shit.
I think they recently closed the ThinkGeek website or something like that.
I can check
Or
that
one
out.
of those. Was it that or was it Jinx? Whatever the other. One of them, like you can't shop online anymore for. I think it's all.
I'm
through
saying
GameStop.
you should
The ThinkGeek doesn't have its own website. It's integrated into GameStop.
Yeah.
I don't know when that happened or if that's what you're referring to.
I think that's what I'm referring to.
Jinx is still a thing, I believe. Jinx.com, clothing brand. Yeah, Jinx is still around.
Okay.
I do want to say something on GameStop real quickly. As of September of last year, they had 5,700 stores. And at the time, they had said they were going to close 180 to 200.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. So they're gonna have to downsize. I don't know. Again, like I said, we're not the experts, so we don't know what they're gonna do. Hopefully, Reggie can figure something out.
I'm just saying you gotta reevaluate the store. Maybe
I hope
just
they
change
stick
the-
around in some fashion, but at the end of the day, if the market speaks, the market speaks, and the world changes. That's
you
just
could even try changing the name if you want to, because I just feel like the name
Just
GameStop
rebranding-
already
rebranding,
has a bad rap as it is.
yeah.
Because when you think of GameStop, a lot of people just think
I
of
feel like that's already established. Though.
needless BS.
It's kind of difficult to establish yourself. GameStop is like the like
That's
if somebody
true.
said
The casual
let's go
gamer
to a,
knows GameStop.
yeah, let's go to get a game. People like, let's go to GameStop, even though GameStop in most places suck. They're like, I'm still gonna go to GameStop because it's GameStop.
Yeah. I don't know.
That'd be like if Target changed their name. Like, why would you do that?
GameStop's been changing its CEO like multiple times too. I think this last year, which is not good for the company. Not looking so great. I want to read this from the article real quickly. GameStop has been floundering seemingly for years now as digital downloads and larger market pressures have cut into its revenues. In January, executives admitted sales for the most recent quarter were down 25% from the year previous period. Company executives say the arrival of new game consoles from Microsoft and Sony will provide a much-needed boost, but recent layoffs suggest a lack of confidence. So yeah, when the consoles come out, they're going to likely get a lot of money,
Yeah.
because people are still going to buy that stuff through them. But beyond that, oof,
I don't know.
we'll see what happens. I think that's it for GameStop.
Yep. Well, excited to see what they do.
Hopefully
Hopefully,
something
yeah.
interesting.
Before we move on,
Oh.
whoever's shit's going off when I send stuff in the chat, mute it, please. Whose computer is that?
It might be my
Well,
laptop. I didn't hear anything.
That last time I sent something, but I had already muted my phone.
I know, but
I don't know. I just muted my laptop, so hopefully it wasn't me. Hopefully it won't happen again.
did we not just hear it?
No?
Okay.
I don't know.
I was just checking. All right, continue.
All right. Number 3. This was not as big, but still a pretty big story. And not much of a surprise at this point because of all the rumors and leaks. So it appears that Horizon Zero Dawn is coming to PC
Finally.
from PlayStation's Guerrilla Games.
We watched Death Stranding on PC, the trailer for it the other week.
Oh, yeah.
And Horizon about to look crazy.
I know,
Oh,
I
man.
know. It's about to look clean and about to run clean. So it's coming this summer, which is funny because that's right around where Death Stranding is coming, I think.
Yeah.
You said, didn't they say summer? Or maybe they gave us a date already. We had a date. We didn't talk about last week, didn't we?
No.
I don't remember. Whatever. This is the complete edition. It comes with the game, the DLC expansion, the Frozen Wilds, and any cosmetic add-ons that were also available on PlayStation are also part of this complete edition. I think it's $60. I gotta double check that. And in a recent PlayStation blog interview with now head of PlayStation Worldwide Studios Herman Hulst, but he used to be the head of Guerrilla Games,
DJ.
he explained that this does not mean that PlayStation is putting all of its first-party titles on PC. The quote reads, "We don't have plans for day-and-date PC releases, and we remain 100% committed to dedicated hardware." So it sounds like this is just this can happen every now and then. They'll put something on PC when it makes sense. But the PlayStation is still their main focus, which is not really surprising, but good to hear anyway for that,
Yeah.
for those who care. And the speculation around this is that partially because they're already using the Decima engine with Death Stranding, and that's going to be coming to PC. They're like, oh well, we can easily port Horizon to PC too.
Yeah.
And also the other thing, I guess the speculation again is that if Horizon's coming to PC in the summer, does that mean we're getting a sequel in the fall with the release
I was
of
gonna say
PS5?
this kind of seems like it's because I feel like they're doing it because a lot of these games is like, well, we're not making money from this game anymore, so we might as well just like port it.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're bringing the new game out, it'd be like, well, people can play the first one. Maybe they'll buy a PS5 to play Horizon 2.
Yeah, exactly. So you're going to get people interested on PC who haven't played this game yet, and then maybe they'll be like, oh, the sequel's coming out already? I just played the first one.
Exactly.
Now I'm going to get a PS5.
Exactly.
Forget
Yeah,
PS5.
so it works.
That's what happened with Michael and Achievement Hunter. He played Doom.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, Doom is really good. I loved it. And they're like, there's a second one coming. He's like, there's a second one? Yeah.
Because there's a second one? Yeah, so that's pretty good news right there. And I think I'm gonna buy it. I don't know. We'll see.
Nigga, no. You already played it. There's too many games coming out, and you haven't even played games you should have played.
You're right. But
And you have homework.
it's very, it's still very tempting. Well, my homework will be done by the summer.
This dude's gonna have been graduated but still have homework to do.
Yeah, that'd be depressing.
Oh no, that's going to be like even far after you've graduated. I'm still going to say that.
Okay.
I'll just be like, he can't. He has homework.
And if you want to hear more about PlayStation's future and current outlook on games, you should read that interview with Herman Holst. It's on the PlayStation blog, which is PlayStation's own website. So
Alrighty.
yeah, and then finally in the window shopping today, Silent Hills might be coming back. And noticed I put the S on the end of that hill.
Multiple Silent Hills. It's a silent family.
more.
Well, not only am I talking about that, but also
No, shut up.
you know what Silent Hills was? PT.
Yes.
All right, back up. Along with other Konami IP. So here's some interesting things here. We have a lot to go through quickly.
Just so quiet.
I'm ready.
So, the original story here. According to Rely on Horror, which is a website, a news website, Sony Interactive Entertainment is working on a pair of Silent Hill titles. Konami and Sony Interactive Entertainment are working. Oh, let me read. Hold on, real quickly. This is an article on Jack of All Controllers, which is the name of the website.
DJ.
And I don't see who the article's by. Oh, here we go. Ryan Bays. So
That's a very non-professional picture of him, but sure.
dude, he's 19. This kid.
Really?
Yeah.
He
He
looks
doesn't look 19.
That's what his thing says.
37.
I'm saying.
Konami and Sony Interactive Entertainment are working together on these projects with the development process looking like this. Silent Hill Reboot by Japan Studios, Project Siren, the developers behind Siren and Gravity Rush, and the Silent Hills by Kojima Productions, the original developers of the canceled PS4 exclusive. The report states that Silent Hill has been in development for around a year now, and that Keiichiro Toyama and Akira Yamaoka will return to the project. As for Silent Hills, the Hideo Kojima directed horror title starring Norman Reedus has apparently resumed talks between both Konami and the PlayStation giant, and they are looking to be all ready to go. That's an interesting way to end that sentence.
By the way, this is the thing that we were saying that nothing was going to happen last week, right?
Was it?
I think so. Remember, or was it last week or 2 weeks ago
I don't know.
where you were talking about the Post-it note and he was saying next week on the Post-it note and we were like, no, that's just a meeting. He was writing on the Post-it note and someone just happened to take a picture.
Oh yeah,
of
we
him
made a
at the
joke. He was
same
like, ain't nothing gonna happen.
time. Exactly, nothing gonna happen, man. And then, yo.
Oh, I didn't say that was going to happen. You guys are saying that.
Yeah, no,
I
were,
definitely
yeah.
said that.
Yeah, we were definitely saying that.
Yeah. As well, it says Jack of All Controllers' own sources close to Sony has also confirmed to us that Konami is actually open to making Silent Hills restart development, so it's likely to happen. Both games will end up being exclusive to PS5, though. Details are just as scarce as Rely on Horrors, so we aren't really able to add more details behind yes to our knowledge, as well as these games are happening. This last sentence probably isn't very important, although it mentions the fact that Kojima wanted to make another horror title, which we've talked about. And then there was an update to this story. An apparent employee from Konami back in January on 4chan, but he says to stick with us here, says that Sony wants to buy Silent Hill, Castlevania, and Metal Gear from Konami and have Kojima involved in both Metal Gear and Silent Hill.
Could you imagine a Castlevania?
So the 4chan post reads, "Hello, I am an employee from Konami. Sorry for my bad English. I heard for a little moment that Sony wants to buy franchises such as Metal Gear, Silent Hill, and Castlevania.
Hawk, I need you to shut up for a second.
Oh my god.
Do you know who you are dealing with
Yeah.
right now? This is Sony, okay? They just... Go ahead.
They want to remake Metal Gear Solid 1 and Metal Gear Solid 2. Solid Snake. Is that what it says? SS. What is it? Is it Solid Snake? Just ideologically, after the 5th part is suitable. Again, this is probably broken English here. Kojima is involved, PS5 exclusive. Silent Hill X, that guy's name we said earlier. Sony Gravity Rush / Siren / Silent Hill 1 X Masahiro Ito. And they link to a tweet here for some reason. It's a soft reboot, PS5 exclusive. Maybe they mentioned Nakamura-san, you know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
Involved. She's with SIE now. It says.
Uh-huh.
Then it says Castlevania full reboot. Shutaro. Is that Ida or Lida? I guess it would be Ida. There's no L's in Japan. Ex Koji Igarashi, ex Sony Japan project, very very Bloodborne style. I think more like as Lords of Shadow, not 2D, PS5 exclusive. So that's what the 4chan post says. The rest of the article reads, Castlevania will apparently receive a full-on reboot at Japan Studio in the style of Bloodborne and Castlevania Lords of Shadow. Just to tell you how much Sony cares, unlike Konami, the Castlevania Requiem, Sony Symphony of the Night, and Rondo of Blood PS4 ports were done by Sony Interactive Entertainment's own studios. Now, I don't know if that's a confirmed thing or if that's something we didn't really know until now. That I have to look into.
What we do know is you need to get a PS5.
For sure. That should tell you that they are passionate enough to try and get the IP. Now, he says at the end here, now, why are we reporting on a 4chan post? Since this information is lining up with information heard from both Rely on Horror and later verified on our own and from our own sources, this news dump seems to be actually valid. We anticipate hearing word on this in a post PS5 reveal world. We are not obviously saying this is going to happen, but it seems like they're actually trying to give these IPs another chance at prospering.
Nice.
Trey, you were going to say something, I saw.
Can you say those names again?
Which names?
The games.
Of the games?
The games.
Castlevania,
Oh.
Silent Hill, and Metal Gear Solid. Or Metal Gear in general. So here's the interesting thing.
Baby.
This would be great and, like, fantastic. Like, because honestly, Sony would do a better job at doing things with these games and these franchises
At doing anything.
than Konami would.
Yes.
Especially since it somewhat seems like Konami isn't fully in on the console gaming space. For a little while there, they were saying it seemed like they weren't going to be at all, and then they made something recently that was. They did like the Castlevania stuff, but they did something recently too that I forget that kind of reignited that. But the interesting thing is like it's interesting that Konami would give up these IP.
Yeah.
It's probably because they're
I was
losing
surprised.
money, and they're like, "Oh, we fucked up, and we need help."
Because
true.
I pulled up Colin's tweet here because he tweeted about this. He says, this is making the rounds today, but I'm skeptical. Would be a wise investment on Sony's part, especially coupled with an outright purchase of Koji Pro. I don't know what that is. But for Konami, jettisoning the IP makes no sense. I believe they could be PS5 exclusive, but acquired, no. And then he basically says that it would make more sense for them to just license it because they get to keep the IP and still make money on it. But Sony gets to do whatever the hell they want with the games, basically.
They must be giving them a stupid amount of money, and it's probably
Maybe.
because they want Kojima to do it. They don't want nobody else to do it but him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he says if Konami sheds Metal Gear, Silent Hill, and Castlevania, that's a pretty loud signal that they're done with core gaming completely, which they may want and have signals as such, but I think it's more likely they license the IP because there's literally no reason not to. And like you said, maybe it's because they're giving them a stupid amount of money.
Yeah. Because they're going to make that money back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole storyline behind PT would literally sell like 10 million easy.
Mm-hmm. Someone asked Colin, he said, any guess what you think it would cost Sony? He said, Insomniac cost Sony $229 million, and Sony already owned its biggest IP. If Sony was just buying Metal Gear, Silent Hill, and Castlevania, 2 of the 3 of those being some of the biggest Japanese gaming properties of all time, it'd cost substantially more than that. So it would cost them a lot of fucking money
Yeah.
if they were buying it.
They got it.
They're going to make that shit back.
So this is really
Easy.
interesting. Silent Hill's rebooting that or reviving that. I mean, is very smart. That game is still.
We don't
like-
have a lot of horror games either. Like
Yeah.
like big ones.
Yeah,
They're
we
usually
don't.
indie.
Yeah.
It's right now. It's like Resident Evil is coming back in a good way, and then other than that, it's like Layers of Fear and these other
Evil
kinds
Within.
of things.
Those are that
Amnesia, Rebirth, whatever it's
It's
called.
still
That just
indie.
That just got announced.
Yeah.
All indie, yeah.
Evil Within though.
Yeah. Oh, Evil Within is what.
Yeah, that's the main one I
triple
was
A.
thinking about. That's
Yeah.
like the only other one.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be interesting. Although it is kind of interesting to see that they might do Silent Hills and Silent Hill. I don't
Yeah.
know what that means. Do them both.
I think it's because Silent Hills is supposed to be like a complete reboot. So
Mm-hmm.
like they probably have like a side one where it's like this is like something that continues on from the other shit that people
Maybe.
like, and then this is a new one.
Yeah.
I only care about Silent Hills.
So that's good. And then of course Metal Gear, which really wasn't gonna have a good future without Kojima. Or without at least Kojima giving his blessing
'Cause
and being
mother-
like, someone else can work on my baby over here.
Yeah.
Because Mother of God,
Survive.
Survive.
Yeah.
God, that was
Poke
like
people with a stick through a fence.
I don't know what the hell they were thinking.
Donkey threw that game in the garbage.
Oh my god.
Like actually.
Yeah, he
Remember
threw. It was also in there with like No
Andro-
Man's Sky
And
and,
Andromeda.
Yeah.
Andromeda.
Which No Man's Sky you could probably pull out of there now, but Andromeda's still in there.
yeah, definitely.
So there's that, and then finally Castlevania. They haven't
Sorry.
really, other than reviving, well, two things. They've done two things well with Castlevania lately.
And
They've been doing
Netflix.
they've been doing the Netflix series, which is really good. And
Speaking
then
of real quick.
oh yeah, the third season just came out.
Yeah,
too.
me and Kenyatta are rewatching season 1 and 2. And by the way, looks stunning. Season 3 looks insane visually. Like, it's ridiculous, man.
I have to watch this
It's
series.
stupid. Oh my god.
And then there's that, and then of course they've been reviving, or they've just been kind of remastering games and putting them out. We got Symphony of the Night on mobile. We just talked about it last week. We got Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood on a bundle pack that came out last year.
Yeah.
And then there was one other thing, like I was saying, I can't remember what it was. But then they're kind of weird because I think they own Contra, right? And then they did something weird with Contra. Really, they tried to make like a new Contra game, which wasn't Contra, or
It's-
something like
okay.
that.
They keep trying to do new things with Contra to like bring it back. It most
Leave
of them
it-
just
leave it
don't
alone.
work.
I think
Let's leave it
Contra's one of
alone.
those games you put in a legacy collection, you keep the originals up like playable on the new consoles. I don't think you make a new game like that.
Yeah.
Because those games are very weird. They're not weird. They're not something you play nowadays.
Yeah, but Castlevania has reached. It's reached a point that not many games have, where like they'll use that game to teach people about game design, about like very small things you can do that the player will almost never notice.
Yeah.
That'll just make your game better. Other examples are like Mario 64, Mega Man X, and like a few other things, but.
It's very influential on the industry.
Like I know Castlevania, like at the very least the music.
I mean, its name is literally part of
fan-freaking-tastic.
the genre Metroidvania.
Yes.
It's half of that name.
Yes.
And then on top of that, like Bloodstained just came out last year. Bloodstained Symphony of the
Ritual?
Night. Ritual of the Night. That's what it is. And then Bloodstained Curse of the Moon, which is the 8-bit or 16-bit version that came out, or like side game that came out from the same studio. I think back in 2018. Both of those doing pretty well and getting received pretty well proves that this series can come back.
Yeah.
At least in the 2D form. 3D form we'll have to see.
Have they ever done a good 3D
I don't think so.
I
Castlevania?
think there was
search it up.
one that I remember
There's
hearing.
one. I think I played it before. It was pretty cool. I didn't play the whole game though.
I remember hearing. I think there was one.
I want to say
They said Lords of Shadow. That's what it
Yeah.
is. I think the first Lords of Shadow has a pretty good reception. The second one doesn't have as good of a reception.
All these games.
because I remember there was a 3D Castlevania game that people play and they were like, "This is extreme garbage."
Yeah. Well, because honestly, Castlevania, like they said, it really is. It really should be in the form of something like Bloodborne if you were going to put it in 3D.
Yes.
That's kind of the essence that it exudes, and that's what it should have when it comes back.
Yeah.
Be really cool if you could just have From Software make it. But I don't know about that.
I wouldn't play it, but
Or maybe actually put the guys
like
that
to
made
watch it.
Neo on it instead. Maybe that would be better.
I wouldn't play it, but I'd still watch it. Boy, howdy
Yeah.
would I watch it.
Pretty boy, howdy.
Yeah. So big news for potentially big news. We don't know. This is all rumor and speculation and leaks and such like that. And like the article said, we're probably not going to know this stuff until, or learn about these games at least until after they've revealed the PS5, which we
Sony.
still don't know when that's going to happen. Yeah, Sony. They're spending
Forget looking at memes.
they're spending their money in good places.
All the time.
All right.
I think it seems like there was 3 3D Castlevania games. One just called Castlevania on the Nintendo 64 that came out in 1999.
Oh dear.
That received an expansion called Castlevania Legacy of Darkness later that year. In 2003, there was a title called Lament of Innocence that debuted on the PlayStation 2. And where's this other one?
Lords of Shadow and Lords of Shadow 2, I'm pretty sure 3D.
A reboot of Castlevania series premiered with Castlevania Lords of Shadow in 2010, a multi-platform 3D action title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna remember which one it was.
I think that's the one that has the best reputation from what I heard.
Yeah, no, it's not that one.
Okay.
Anyway,
That is it for the window shopping. We don't have any trailers to watch per se, and we don't have any entertainment and tech news today, so we're going to jump right into the payload.
Let's get it.
This morning, as these things always happen, Xbox revealed a bunch of new details about the Xbox Series X again.
Yeah.
Last time it was really more so about some features they were talking about.
Yeah.
This time it's like the rest.
Alrighty, I'm ready.
Other than the games, obviously, because that's probably coming in the summer where E3 was supposed to take place.
Yeah.
So, big article went up today on Xbox Wire. Bunch of information, bunch of pictures, bunch of things we're going to go through. I'm going to try not to take forever with it because I didn't get the chance to compile all of it. And then on top of that, we have some pretty interesting things. There's videos on the Xbox YouTube channel. One that's showing off the loading times. It looks like it's using, at least in this thumbnail, it looks like it's using State of Decay 2 as an example here. Which I guess there's one difference. Well, we'll talk about that, something like that later. Actually, never mind. That's not going to make any sense if I put it in there now. And then the other thing is they're showing off the quick resume feature. The whole thing we're talking about. You can suspend a game, come back to it later, and stuff like that, and just be right where you were. And then there's articles from different places. They had Digital Foundry come in. The tech guys at Eurogamer they have their own YouTube channel. They do a whole bunch of tech stuff about consoles. They were at Microsoft, and they have an article as well as a video. And then finally you had YouTuber Austin Evans, very casual tech YouTuber. He was able to get an exclusive hands-on thing with the console, the gameplay on the console, and the controller itself. We have a new look at the controller.
Nice.
So we can't go through all of this. I'm gonna try to go through it. We can't watch Austin's video. It's 22 minutes long, which is funny because I don't think he even makes content that long usually. All right, so let's go through the let's start to go through this article here. Nico, why don't you pull up that article on this screen and start kind of showing off some of the pictures that are in this article.
They have a download media assets, a zip that I'm trying to download. I'm clicking on it. It's just not doing anything.
Can I do it? Is it gonna? No. Try to do a right-click save as. That didn't work. Never mind. It doesn't HTML. All right, let's get into it. Let's see. And I gotta skim through this, of course.
It'd be great if I could download those media assets. Oh my god.
Hopefully.
Oh no, I just have to click them.
Oh, well, the pictures, of course, but you can download them all in a zip file if you do that.
Yeah, but like I can still do it. Is what I'm saying. So.
All right, let's jump right into some of these things here. The next generation of Xbox is defined by 3 primary characteristics: power, speed, and compatibility. Kind of things we already talked about with those tweets that they had with different sections. Let's take a look at the features and technologies of Xbox Series X delivering those 3 hallmarks. Talk about the evolution from 8-bit all the way to 4K. That is very true there. Quite a definition there. Someone mentioned, it's funny, we used to talk about consoles in like how many bits. You know,
Yeah.
8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit, 64-bit eras, and now we talk about it with teraflops.
Yeah.
That's what we've kind of transitioned to. So talk about how, you know, we're going beyond 60 FPS here, high visual fidelity and precise responsive input. Oh, look at these pictures, man.
I'm saying.
Xboxes deliver a massive increase in GPU performance and continue to redefine and advance the state of the art in graphics and with new capabilities such as hardware accelerated ray tracing, which they show off here, by the way. It says we don't believe this generation will be defined by graphics or resolution alone. This is coming from Jason Ronald, project management on Xbox Series X.
Good old McDonald.
The team they needed to build a new next generation console that could run games in 4K at 60 FPS with no compromises for developers. Then they talk about, of course, 120 FPS, things that we didn't think were possible on a console.
Holes.
Forget holes. This is the real back of the console now. We
Yeah,
finally know.
finally.
It actually is basically what the what that dev kit we saw that leaked
Yeah.
looks like. And I was right about something that I'm very happy about, which we'll get
No,
to.
you weren't.
Oh, the storage expansion. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Sick. All right.
All right. This is so much information here, dude.
Go to the important stuff.
Okay. Here's the first thing that's big. They actually gave us real specs this time, like
Yeah.
legitimate numbers. This isn't going to mean much to a lot of you, but I'm going to read through them anyway.
Like
real
storage.
quickly.
Big.
CPU,
Stonks.
8 cores. We already knew that. 3.8 gigahertz. That's something we now know.
Ow.
3.6 gigahertz with simultaneous multi-threading.
Okay.
So that means when you're using all cores, it can do still up to 3.6 gigahertz, which is very important in the CPU space. Custom Zen 2 CPU, we know that already. GPU, 12 teraflops of performance, 52 compute units at 1.825 gigahertz, which is pretty big for a GPU. Custom RDNA 2 GPU, we already knew that. Die size 360.45 millimeters squared. That doesn't mean much to any of you. Processor 7 nanometer enhanced. That for you, that means we're on the smallest transistor process that you can get to in most CPUs at the moment, which is what AMD's using in their newest CPUs. So we're in the latest and greatest technology is what you need to know there.
I know, right?
Man, I boiled it down for you at the end, and you still made fun of me for it. 16 gigabytes of GDDR6 memory with 320-bit bus.
Oh.
So a lot of RAM.
That bigger than a school bus?
Also in the latest technology.
I was gonna make something.
Forget
I was
no.
gonna say something like that, but
Not at all.
I'm not exactly sure what this means entirely. It says 10 gigabytes at 560 gigabytes per second, 6 gigabytes at 336 gigabytes per second.
Is that just the range?
I
in
think
which-
it's talking about based on what's available for the games and what's available for the console. Probably 10 gigs for a game that's pretty good, based on what I know. 1 terabyte custom NVMe SSD, which is internally comes with the console. So we get 1 terabyte. Like I said, that's probably what we're gonna get. And I'm very happy to see it's not like 500 gigs or something, which is very good. I/O throughput. It says. I don't know what the hell this is. 2.4 gigabytes per second raw, 4.8 gigabytes per second compressed with custom hardware decompression block. Oh, that's something. That's something. Expandable storage, 1 terabyte expansion card. Matches internal storage exactly. So there's a spot on the back of the console that we were thinking was for one of a few things,
Yes.
and it turns out it is indeed for wow, you really messed that up. A storage expansion slot, where you'll be able to plug in a storage card to keep that speed that they advertise with the console. And there's the card itself. It's gonna be
Oh, I like that because
That's-
that reminds me of
memory cards.
Yes,
PS2 memory.
That's
card.
Seagate too, but that's a
it
Seagate
reminds
card.
me
Yeah.
of the Dreamcast shit you would put in the
Yeah.
controller.
That's
I
clean.
like that.
I like that.
But you know Xbox, the original Xbox had those too, where you had like little
Yeah.
memory chips in the controller. Yeah, that's really cool. I didn't see that picture until now
I
actually.
like physical stuff.
However, if you don't
Forget all.
if you don't care too much about the speed, for example, or if you want more capacity than 1 terabyte, I'm assuming in the future they're probably going to expand that to 2, maybe. You can expand. You can use external storage with hard drives up using USB 3.2, which you might not have heard of, but trust me, a lot of devices that you already know about already have it. The USB forum doesn't know what the hell they're doing. Optical drive, 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray drive, same thing that's in the Xbox Series or Xbox One X. So no surprise there. Performance target, 4K at 60 FPS or up to 120 FPS. So that's the
Crazy.
specs.
Power.
Digital Foundry did a deep dive into all those, so you can go watch their video. They kind of break it down to what those features mean for the gamers. So if you want to get a more both technological and dumbed down approach to it, go watch their video on their YouTube channel. Then they talk about ray tracing. Nico, pull these pictures up. They showed off some pictures here. So this is Minecraft. This is Minecraft on the Xbox Series X with ray tracing off and ray tracing on. This is what ray tracing does. It's lighting. It's lighting. It's
more
dynamic. It's
realistic
dynamic lighting.
Yes. That looked
Of
good.
course, because
Okay.
this is
It's
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
This is the most
That's good.
drastic difference you see because
Yeah.
Minecraft's lighting engine is very simple.
Yes.
But when you turn ray tracing on, it makes it very, very different.
Okay.
And that looks awesome. And this is all hardware accelerated, as we learned, which means that it's not being done through some software trickery. The hardware is being used to make that happen, which means it's very powerful to do that.
yes.
Let's see. Let's see what
Hopefully
else
it's
it
quiet.
says. The most impressive feature, at least for yours truly, was the way the light now passes through transparent objects like glass, picking up the color on its way to your eyes. Just reading some snippets here. If you guys want to read all about this, check it out on the Xbox news.xbox.com. It says to close out the segment of the power on the Xbox Series X, the Coalition's technical director Mike Rayner came up to show us how this team is planning to optimize Gears 5 for the Xbox Series X, which is also an official announcement today that Gears 5 will be optimized. The team showcased a technical demo of Gears 5 powered by Unreal Engine for Xbox Series X using the full PC ultra spec settings, which include higher resolution textures and higher resolution volumetric fog, as well as 50% higher particle count than the PC ultra specs allowed. They also showed off the opening cutscene, which now runs at 60 FPS and 4K.
Which that opening cutscene? Ooh.
It was at 30 FPS on Xbox One
Ooh.
X, by the way.
Yeah.
So you didn't even see it in its full glory.
Exactly. I'm saying.
Now you're going to see it in its full glory.
Oh,
Meaning the transition
man.
from real-time cutscenes to gameplay is incredibly smooth. And we were looking at this GIF here of them switching back and forth between how it looks with the fog and the textures, and I don't know if that has anything to do with ray tracing, but it's definitely got to do with the power of it.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I'm sure it does.
Rainer also showed that the game is already running over 100 FPS and that the team is investigating implementing 120 FPS gameplay from multiplayer modes, giving players an experience never before seen on consoles
Good.
for multiplayer on
multiplayers.
Gears. Alrighty, they talk about SSD stuff because this is about speed now. I'll read this real
Gotta
quickly
go
because
fast.
this is probably more for developers. Enter Xbox Velocity architecture, which features tight integration between hardware and software and is a revolutionary new architecture optimized for streaming of in-game assets. This will unlock new capabilities that we have never seen before in console development, allowing 100 gigabytes of game assets to be instantly accessible by the developer. The components of the Xbox Velocity architecture all combine to create an effective multiplier on physical memory that is quite literally a game changer. So this is very developer tech-focused stuff, but I wanted to just kind of breeze through it, get an idea of what they're talking about here. Xbox Velocity architecture is also so much more than fast last times. It's one of the most innovative parts of our new console. A big beneficiary of this technological upgrade are large open world games where players have freedom to play and explore in their own way and at their own pace. Titles such as Final Fantasy XV, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and Red Dead Redemption 2 have redefined expectations of a living, dynamic world in this generation. Just to make these universes more dynamic and feel like large, high-fidelity worlds requires a massive increase in processing power and the ability to stream assets extremely quickly to not break immersion. Epic elevator rides or lengthy hallways are good examples of how developers creatively hide assets loading in. Developers will also be able to effectively eliminate loading times between levels or create fast travel systems that are just that fast. And then there's that little flow chart you had up there, Nico, earlier. It says competitive gamers and the best gaming experiences demand precise, responsive controls. The Xbox team analyzed the entire end-to-end input pipeline from the controller to the console and from the console to the display, and we challenged ourselves to identify every opportunity to further reduce latency to provide the best experience for gamers on Xbox. Nintendo, you gotta take a page out of the book.
Take the whole book, man. Take the whole book, because a page isn't gonna do you any good.
So this thing here says every millisecond matters, and it's the controller going to the console, going to the screen. It says faster input scanning. Controller captures button presses at as fast as 2 milliseconds. Sent via high bandwidth Xbox wireless protocol, more responsive than ever before, because they have their own. Proprietary protocol that they use for the console itself. And then this, of course, the controllers support Bluetooth regardless. Yeah. Latency pipeline. Titles receive instantaneous input via dynamic latency input, which we read about last week. Mm-hmm. Redesigned new, or 2 weeks ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago now. Redesigned new input software stack with focus on latency. Fully decoupled frame buffering and latency. This is all tech talk, of course. The ultimate player to game connection. It says HDMI 2.1 gaming. High frame rate gaming with 120 FPS support, instant synchronization via variable refresh rates. Also talked about that 2 weeks ago. Optimize your display with auto latency mode. Also talked about that 2 weeks ago. So that's all the stuff for that. What else is there here? This article is long. We're more than halfway through it though. They mention all that in text. So then here we go. So now they're showing off the quick resume feature. So why don't we watch that video, Nico? It's in this article.
Down.
It's a little more than halfway. It's just a little bit more than halfway.
Okay.
Oh, you can do it that way too. No, we'll do a quick resume one first because it's in the order of this article. So let's see what this is looking like. What they wanted to show us for this.
Count me up.
I got you, buddy. Up or down? Up.
Up. You always do up. So.
Yep. 1, 2, 3.
I love it.
Sure.
Xbox. If we could get all atmospheric with it.
Why do I need headphones to see loads?
So he opens up Forza. He's playing Forza Motorsport 7. Figure R. He wants to go play some Ori. He's gonna open up Ori.
I see this more being useful for like not multiple games but multiple apps. Like I switch between YouTube and a game a lot.
Well, you can already do that on the Xbox One.
Well, I'm talking about PlayStation.
Yeah.
Like I can switch, but like how fast this is more
I think this is
useful
great for like in between while you're waiting for like a multiplayer game to load. Or
Yeah,
something
like if we're going to play Apex or something, and I'm waiting for Hog to get on because he's getting water, I can sit there and play Ori while I wait and go, oh, Hog's here, boom, hop back in.
Yeah, minimize the game,
or
open up Apex.
Or play Senua's Sacrifice.
This situation rarely ever happens. Like I'll play a game by myself, and then if people get on, I just close the game and then load up the new game.
I used to do it all the time on PC.
This mess is spending 5 games, by the way.
It helps with other apps, especially like music apps or entertainment, and then I switch to the game, and then once we're done playing and I get off the game, I switch back to that.
Let me tell you probably what's one of the most common places where it comes into play with games is if someone's using the console playing a game and they got to step away or someone else wants to play a different game, then they can just get on and they don't have to,
Yeah, this will be more useful for people that share a console, but I don't, so I have my own, so I'm not really gonna.
is that it says there's also the new quick resume technology that we outlined in our last blog post. With current gen consoles, you can resume the last game you played. However, since most players play on average 3 to 4 games a month, the team wanted to give them the option to switch between them easily and quickly. With quick resume, you can resume multiple games with the press of a button, instantly jumping back into the action right where you left off from multiple titles at the same time. So it sounds like they intend on you saying like, okay, well you can keep your game open literally for like weeks. You can literally open up a game, play it one day, just turn off your console. Next day you want to hop right into a multiplayer game instead of playing that game. You go play a multiplayer game. All right, I'm gonna go back and play some Ori or whatever and reopen that game. And then I want to play Senua's Saga, which will be coming out. And then it's like, all right, now I'm gonna play that, and I'll get back to Ori later. And those games can stay open. You don't have to close them. I think that's what the interesting thing about this is. That's how they're painting it in that paragraph, in my opinion. It says, since game states will be stored directly in the system's SSD, they'll even persist after you turn off the console, which is what we talked about.
Yeah.
Unplug it entirely or even take a system update. One of the testers on the team unplugged his console for a week, then took an update, and it was still able to continue right where he left off without so much as a loading screen.
Sick.
Cool.
And the third and final pillar of Xbox Series X is compatibility. I talk about, so there's things about compatibility. Your Xbox 360 backwards compatibility was something that they did that was crazy. Back then, the team came to us. Actually, wait, where's the loading times thing?
I have it right here.
Well,
I was looking about it, talking about it in the article.
In the article, yeah.
Is it further down? Oh, no, it's not. Okay, why don't we watch that then? Because that would be part of the speed section. There's probably not much left to talk about, by the way.
1, 2, 3.
Drugs and gore.
Cheap.
Freaking drugs and more.
Xbox versus Xbox.
So this is loading into the world for the first time. Like the game was on the menu, and you're in. That's it. Also, this game has online functionality. So
this is like triple.
So this is what
4
Jack
times
was
now.
mentioning, that this is still like 5 seconds, but this is also loading the world from the menu. This isn't going from a fast travel. This is different.
Did they show that with the PS5? Did
Yeah.
they show the world being loaded in?
I don't think so.
It's still
I think it was just. I think it
Yeah,
was.
bro, this is like 10 times.
I think it was like, yo, how is it still going?
Yeah, because I will say, on my Xbox, when I load up Forza, like Horizon 4,
Yeah, Horizon 4
it takes
a while to load.
forever to load up.
I mean,
Yeah.
that world is huge.
I know.
So like,
And so like imagining that load up in like 5 seconds. Ugh.
I know.
Ugh.
Oh.
Yeah, because I think when the PlayStation demo wasn't official, but when we saw it, it was.
It was fast travel.
It was a fast travel,
And then
in
it was
Spider-Man,
showing-
and that was really short too.
And it wasn't a second. It was like 0.8
Yeah.
seconds
Yeah.
or some shit. And then it was showing how fast you can move because how fast the console like renders everything.
Yeah,
So you can
exactly.
move faster in games now, and it doesn't look like shit.
That's awesome, dude. The fact that textures are gonna render faster, that's just nice. That's just a nice, nice little
Definitely.
tidbit
Christ.
in the next generation that I'm gonna enjoy.
It took like 9 seconds
It was
for
like-
the Series X to load it, and it took like it took around
It was like
somewhere
5
around 50
seconds.
seconds
For the other one.
for this Xbox One X to load it. So
The ultimate test
Series
is trying
X
to
is
load
like-
into Destiny.
5 to 6 times quicker.
So in terms of backwards compatibility, this is what makes this thing interesting. It says players will see the benefits of the improved hardware of Xbox Series X for backwards compatible games, including improved boot and load times, more stable frame rates, higher resolutions, and improved image quality. So like you can go back and play an original Xbox game and it's going to load faster now.
I would hope so.
You could boot, or I don't think this is a good example because it's not actually available for backwards compatibility, but you could put Skyrim in, for example. That game takes forever to load. Or actually, you could do it with the special edition, with the one on Xbox One.
Yeah.
And that game that used to take forever to load is going to take not that long to load now. Like when you died in that game, you were waiting like 30, 45 seconds to a minute to load in. Yeah, I love these new pictures that they have. So yeah, it sounds like they're going to be able to kind of use the power just naturally. You don't even have to, like, the developers don't have to do anything. The games are just going to run better on these consoles. And the thing that's special about this is that you can kind of do this on PC. You can go back and play an old PC game, but sometimes things just don't work. Like sometimes some games are so old that you need to have an older operating system to even run them. Otherwise, the game freaks out. It doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Or even older hardware sometimes. It doesn't know what to do with newer hardware. It can't use all that power. But because it's all in Xbox, or if PlayStation would do it to be all in PlayStation, it's all just, it's in their ecosystem. They can control how the operating system and the hardware reacts to this sort of thing. It's talking about, it says Xbox team is committed to the concept of compatibility and cross-generation play, that not only do your games move forward with you, but so your Xbox One accessories, your gaming saves, your progression, your entire gaming legacy moves forward with you to the next generation. They mentioned smart delivery here, which we talked about a couple weeks ago, and that seems to be most of it. Yeah, there's that whole video from Austin Evans actually looking at the console. I would recommend taking a look at that.
I'm gonna definitely watch it later.
There were some pictures of the controller. We can look at that
real quick. We have a picture right now of the airflow of the console. And
yeah.
Were we right in the top being the intake, or did we think it was the exhaust? I don't remember.
It's always been the exhaust.
It's the exhaust?
That looks like an intake.
It looks like the top
looks like
is
it's an
swirling in, and then it.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
It's exhausting outwards. Hot air moves up.
I know, but it looks like it's
That also is a
in.
very bad diagram because there's no arrows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just showing.
It's just a cool little flow picture.
Okay.
Like if it showed if one of them was red, that might help. But
there's vents on the bottom. The air on the top is going to be exhausting air outwards, and then the air is going to be pulled in from the vents in the bottom.
so
through
the vents
system.
in the back are the intake.
Yeah, the back and
That's
and
weird.
they're the back and the bottom. It's just a positive pressure. I'm not technical. It's super technical with this, but I've watched enough Gamers Nexus to know something about this sort of airflow stuff. There's just going to be holes on the bottom, and then there's holes in the back that we saw, and the air is just going to naturally come in through there, through the system, and out the top.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then you have the picture of the cooling solution here. It's probably going to be like sort of like a vapor chamber sort of thing like you have in the Xbox One X as well.
Okay.
When you cool that. Where are the controllers? There was a picture of the controller by itself, and I don't remember where it was.
I didn't see it, so I'll have to go find that.
I thought there was, at least. Maybe I pulled it up in a different thing. Was it the Polygon article? Maybe not that. Nope, not that. Here it is. It's got its own article. Nico, if you go to the Major Nelson article, it's the third link after the videos. After the first two videos.
Alright.
Because it's slightly different. We'll pull it up here in a second. The little arch at the top has been smoothed out.
Mm-hmm.
We have a share button now, which they shamelessly said, this makes sense to do. Yep. And then they changed the D-pad. It's kind of like a combination now between what the 360 had and what the One had.
Okay.
It's one big button rather than a thing that clicks 4 directions.
Yeah.
But it's not as bulky and big and plasticky as the 360s was.
Mm-hmm.
And then they said I think the controller was slightly smaller, right?
Yeah.
Very slightly smaller.
Slightly smaller.
Just to accommodate more people's hands.
Yep.
Beyond that, I don't know if it says anything about the internals of the controller and anything that's been changed inside. Oh, the bumpers and the triggers have textures on them by default now. It's not
Nice.
It's not a premium feature anymore.
You don't have to pay for it.
Well, you do.
Basically.
No, you know what I mean.
No.
Freaking no.
You're just stupid.
Yeah, they're talking about connectivity here, share button, textures, finishes. I don't know if they talk about any. I don't know if they're going to have any new features. We know that the DualShock 5 is trying to do something new with the features. I don't know if they said anything here about like the haptic feedback or anything like that, like Sony's been talking about. I'll have to read more into it later. And get back to you guys.
All right.
So yeah, that's the Xbox stuff today.
Xbox?
Xbox. Finally, we move on to the news blast.
Alrighty.
That worked out really well time-wise.
Yeah. Not bad.
We got 8 things on the news blast today. Who wants to start us off?
Let's do the usual. You
All right.
I We'll just go down the
I need to
table.
pull it up.
go down the table.
All right. It appears a new Tony Hawk's Pro Skater game is on the way.
Oh, watcha.
Even though we were just thinking that might not happen. We only know this due to a band, the Death Set, which seemingly breaking NDA.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
They just like posted on their Facebook page that they are licensing 5 songs to a new Tony Hawk game and that we should be hearing about it soon. And we're just like, were you supposed to say that? Because it doesn't sound like they were supposed to say that.
Yeah, man.
But that's cool to hear for those who care about that. We'll see. I mean, that's good to know that they're getting some cool music for that, because that's one of the staples of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater
I hope
games.
it's fun.
Is like the good old music. Yeah, I hope it's fun.
Because Skate, it's not
Skate's not around
It's not coming.
because EA doesn't like money.
Yep. Nope. Not at all.
All right, moving on. Take us away, Wesley.
2K will be making NFL games for the first time in 16 years. EA still has the exclusive deal to make NFL simulation games, so it's unclear what these games will exactly be, but it's cool to have some competition return to the space regardless.
Yeah, so they can't make a direct competitor to Madden
Yeah.
because EA still has the deal to do that, but they can use the NFL license to do things with the NFL. They also can't directly use the players and their likeness, so we'll have to see what happens with that. But it is, like I said, it's cool to see that there's some competition. returning to
NFL
space.
Street.
NFL
Yo.
Street.
Blacktop.
Forget NFL.
Blacktop football, man.
Oh man,
These people are gonna make a flag football.
Yes.
yo, that'd be funny. Forget flag football with the NFL.
I'm saying.
All right, what's next, Trey?
Oh my god. The story and lore of Overwatch might be in trouble as lead writer Michael Chu has left Blizzard. His other
Good.
works consist of writing on Diablo 3 and World of Warcraft.
Oops.
No one
Yeah.
cares about Blizzard.
So
Move on.
Nico told me about this week, and I was like, "Oh, that's not good."
If
I was
they
like,
weren't dead already.
I was like, the writer left.
If they weren't dead
Ooh.
already.
I mean, I haven't kept up with any of the updates for Overwatch for
Nope.
like 2 or 3 years, but last I checked, ain't nothing was happening.
They were definitely doing some things, but the thing that's more concerning is Overwatch 2 isn't out yet. So unless he's done the story for Overwatch 2 before he's left, because if he left in the middle of it, that's not good.
Yeah.
That's not good for that game, especially since that game, that's one of the things that game has going for it.
I think they revealed that too early because I consistently forget about it.
I mean, it's just like, well,
They just didn't have anything else to say for Overwatch at BlizzCon. Is probably what happened.
Isn't it literally just the same game with like some more modes?
Basically,
Because you can play with Overwatch 1 players.
yes.
Yeah.
There's a
And,
new,
all of the
this-
new characters from 2 are going to be in 1.
there's a new engine in
Yes.
the game, and the
Yeah.
game looks better.
What the?
It's like a definitive edition. It looks better. There's more.
updated edition.
Yeah.
It's
there's
Overwatch
some added
1.5.
content.
Yeah, basically.
I pretty
But,
much-
Yeah.
They should have just pulled a Destiny and just like completely overhaul with a big ass update, the original one, and then had the subtitle.
I remember
Yep,
like a
cool.
day or two after like the whole like gameplay thing came out, I was just like, these updated moves, like what I said you should do, have a variety of moves. That's going to be exclusive to the single player mode. So you're not going to be able
Yeah.
to use those new moves on anyone else.
Nope.
Because that would also hurt the multiplayer space if you can play with the people in Overwatch 1. Yeah, Overwatch 2, nah.
No,
Y'all
yeah,
suck.
we're gonna have to see how that turns out.
But again, with the story, what really was happening?
Yeah.
Last update we got, Overwatch is now being like brought back. That was like, we saw that cinematic in like what, the 3rd month that the game came out?
Yeah.
There was stuff. There was definitely been things. We just haven't been paying attention to it. I just remember hearing stuff every now and then.
I mean, after that, it was just been like, here's what happened 3 years ago. Here's
it was
what
a lot
happens.
of
here's what-
flashback shit.
Here's what happened 2 years ago. Hey, this character's here now. They're completely irrelevant to the story, but they're here. Play with them.
Yes.
Look, they can interact with Tracer.
Yeah, it was a lot of like people. It was kind of Destiny-ish in the way where it was like, oh, you heard about this person in the lore. Now you can play as them.
I said it wasn't even like that.
Yeah,
They never mentioned like almost any of these characters, and they're just like, bam, they're here now.
well, fuck Blizzard anyway.
Completely irrelevant. Next.
So it's whatever.
Yeah. We got.
There you go.
What do you mean white?
CD Projekt Red's next game will be a new game in the Witcher series, and development will begin after Cyberpunk releases later this year.
Speaking of The Witcher, freaking Michael on Michael Jones on Off Topic from Rooster Teeth was talking about how he's been listening to the audiobooks for The Witcher because he's gonna start playing the games and stuff, and he's just been consuming all Witcher content because he likes it now. But the books are like horribly written. It's really funny, and he went on like a 25-minute rant about how terrible.
Gee.
Oops.
Well,
they're
no.
written.
Dag.
I imagine they might just be poorly translated, honestly. 'Cause
No,
I've heard the books are. I mean, the source material is good. And
like it's good. It's just it's not like it's not written well. I can't
Like,
speak to
like
it.
the
'cause-
dialogue for the characters isn't written well?
No, just like the actual story itself
Oops.
is like. I had to show you his rant because it's hilarious. He's like screaming and everything, but yeah.
Michael rants are funny. Yikes.
All right, next. By the time you hear this podcast, Watch Dogs and the Stanley Parable will be free on the Epic Game Store.
Cool.
I completely forgot that
So
was a thing.
feel free to pick those up and download them for free.
Cool.
Number 6. Nintendo and LEGO have joined forces to create Super Mario themed LEGO playsets. LEGO is also looking to produce a Sonic playset that was fan created. I'm sorry.
I'm very surprised that wasn't a thing already.
You
Yeah,
thought
I agree.
You thought that was weird. I actually recently heard that Nintendo and Levi, like the pants, joined together to create some overalls.
I was just about to say, nigga, don't tell me they make
I was about to say
making
they're
some
gonna-
Yep,
overalls.
they made some
It
overalls.
makes sense, I guess.
They made overalls.
I'm surprised.
I'm gonna find it and show
you.
y'all. I'll put it up right over here so y'all can see it. But I'm gonna find it to show you.
Nah, it's gonna be
guys.
right
I'll
here.
probably buy some,
Um,
depending on how they look.
number 7, Call of Duty Warzone has surpassed 15 million players already. To be expected.
To
I don't know about 15 million, but yeah.
to put that in
Into perspective.
perspective, Apex Legends actually they had 6 million. They had 6 million players. I think within the first day or first 3 days of release. Apex had 2, and now Warzone already has 15 million, and it hasn't even been a week yet.
Sneak.
Yes.
God,
I'm sending you a link.
Why?
Oh, has it been announced?
What?
I was gonna put the other thing. Go back to that. Why didn't no one say nothing?
What? What are you talking about?
That was after. That was.
Oh, this
that's
is
not, That's
after
not in the
she-
news.
Nico,
We are-
why do you put this after?
What do you mean? It happened in the middle of the podcast. I was gonna say it.
Oh, okay.
When you gonna say it?
why do you sound like vegan?
Are we on number 8 right now?
Yes, we
Yeah,
are on number
Then I
7.
will
Number 8.
say that, and then I will say the other one.
All right.
Alrighty.
Steam has hit a record-breaking concurrent user count of 20 million users, seemingly due to the coronavirus keeping many at home these days.
Yep.
Yes.
Before you do that next thing,
Gamers win.
open that link for me.
Which link?
20
The
million
link I sent
players.
you.
CS:GO just hit its highest player count ever currently too.
Wow.
If that just shows you like a game that's been around for that long
All right, put that on the screen.
still has.
Not that one. The other one.
Oh,
That's the other stuff that they made. But
this one?
yep, that one. You can put the other one too if you want. Those are the overalls.
Forget the coins, nigga.
Hi.
Show the other apparel that they did.
I respect it.
Oh yeah, of course. Like a jean jacket would make sense.
Yeah.
That jacket's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd get the
She
jacket.
looks stupid.
Oh,
Look at
gosh.
this.
Yo. All right.
And finally, we have a breaking news story that Nico has reporting on here.
The Seaman Demon is on.
There was
the list.
rumors about this, but I didn't put the
Stop.
rumors in. So now we have an official announcement.
This article comes from Nintendo Life by Damian McFerrin.
Lillard.
Nintendo announces Indie World Showcase for tomorrow. Nintendo has confirmed that it will broadcast a new Indie World Showcase tomorrow at March 17th, 2020. The show will feature around 20 minutes of information on upcoming indie games for Switch.
Cool.
Here are the important times to take note of: 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. UK time, 6 p.m. Europe time. Yeah.
Yep. That's
Games.
another Nindy showcase, as they call it. So yeah, more indie games coming into Switch. That's good. We have. I didn't put it in here, but we have rumors that there's going to be a normal Nintendo Direct as well happening soon. That has not been confirmed yet. That's just going to show off new games for this year. I think now would be the time to do it because everyone's sitting at home and doesn't have anything to do.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Alrighty. That's gonna be it for episode 20.
What's so funny?
I forgot. It's 22, 23, 23.
Somewhere in the 20s.
I said it in the beginning of the podcast and now I can't remember.
The viewers know.
Yeah, you guys know. It's episode, y'all know what it is. Thanks everyone for watching.
I'm sorry.
Oh, goddamn. Thanks everyone for watching. Remember to give us a like on the video if you enjoyed stuff and comment. We want to hear y'all's opinion on today's topics.
Let me know if you get COVID.
Let us know if you got COVID. 19 of them. And subscribe if you want to see more. And don't forget, if some of you bozos are sitting there wishing you could listen to the show while you're doing your homework, driving. Never mind, you're not driving because you got COVID, so you're staying at home. Don't worry though, all links are down in the description below. Same goes for you audio listeners. If you want to see anything from the podcast, like all that Xbox stuff and all the nice pictures, you can go over to the YouTube and go to Black Market Gaming at YouTube, as I said. Show your boys some love, man. We out. But you know, we out here. Goodbye. What do you have to say for us?
And if you're not watching us on YouTube, I'm gonna sneak into your home while you're sleeping and take out the bottom stair from your home.
These people are gonna wake up in the
The
morning.
question is it on the main floor or in the basement?
It
Both.
has to be mean.
Oh, both.
Why?
I mean, I'm gonna prioritize the main floor.
You're a monster.
They're the monsters for not watching us on YouTube.
That's true.
I'm only responding.
Save your stairs. Watch us on YouTube.
There you go. That's the name of this podcast. Save your stairs.
See you guys next week, hopefully.
Goodbye, people.